Hello everybody, welcome to this verbling class. My name is Teacher Amy and today's class is a bit of a fun class on time management. I found this really fun article on psychologytoday.com about how animals spend their time. So if you want to find out a little bit about the time management from an animal's perspective, or how to balance or maybe not, and we're going to be talking a few here on Verbally. I'm going to share a couple of pages with you, and if you have never visited them before, or perhaps even if you have, but it was along those and also book a lot with them. So if you do want to attend any of their classes or a tutoring session, then that's where you can go. And if you're interested, the second link might be, and you can find the others too. So if you are a Facebook person, it might be as you go through your week. So, are you there? You're having problems hearing me. I wonder about the others. Let's see if Andre.
Yes.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but you're having problems hearing me. That's a
From
bit
time to time, you are frozen, and
Oh.
your images are kind of blur.
Okay, that's a bit annoying. Maybe I will just see if I can leave the class and come back in. Just give me a couple of moments because I don't want to struggle through with that issue if it's annoying you. So I'll be right back, guys. Just see you in a couple of minutes.
Was it the same for you guys, or just for
Yeah.
me?
Yes, for me too. I didn't
Okay.
hear the teacher well.
All right.
Okay, we're hoping this is improved. Please let me know if you're still having problems hearing me. I did try and restart everything this morning, so that's kind of annoying, but I've restarted my browser once again, and hopefully that will help. Anna, welcome. It's lovely to see you.
It's lovely to see you, teacher. I'm very happy.
How have you been? Is your back better yet?
Yes, I'm very well now. However, the doctor gave me a day off to um, to August 80th. So I can stay home to there because they already gave me the permission.
All right, so you get some time off work. Woohoo! You can come onto Verbling lots more often, Anna, and practice your English. All right, so our topic today is time management, and we're just going to look at this from a bit of a general point of view at the beginning. Sorry. So Anna, can you tell us, what do you think about you with regards to time management? Are you good at organizing your time, or are you a bit hopeless?
I didn't understand the adjective that she
Hopeless?
hopeless. Okay. I'm not good at it, unfortunately. I postpone things. I put off things that I am supposed to do to the last moment. Um, I'm not good at it. No, I wish I was, but when I have to deliver something, and if I don't fulfill the deadline, it can bring some bad consequences. I fulfill the deadline. I found a way, Even I can say that I have a way for my madness.
You found a method to your madness.
Yes, yes, that's it. Thank you.
All right. Okay, well, very honest of you to admit that, Anna, but you've kind of figured out a way to live with yourself and still meet deadlines that are necessary. All right, great to have you in the class. Welcome. Andre, how are you today?
Hi, Amy. I'm doing good. How are you?
Excellent, thank you. I'm doing really well as well. Tell us about you with time management. Is it an issue in your life? Do you have to keep to certain schedules for anything?
I think I don't have issue at my work because sometimes I have kind of to-do lists in my Outlook or calendars, right?
Yeah.
In Outlook, and so I have no problems at my work. But if we see personally, I don't actually have. I don't do the time management for personal things. Just to-do lists maximum, but not every time.
And do you find that you end up with problematic situations in your personal life, or does it seem to be okay?
I try to do it more strictly. How do you say? But
to be more strict with myself, maybe.
Yeah, I tried to be more strict with myself, but I mentioned that if I do too much to-do lists, not everything in that list will be done.
Yeah, if you overestimate your abilities, then you just don't end up doing everything.
I would be disappointed, and so that's why maybe it's a wrong decision to not make it every time, but at least I'm not disappointed every time.
Yes, good point. Actually, I have a bad habit of doing the same thing, Andre. I write to-do lists that are so ridiculously long that there's never any chance of me completing all of them. I do know some people. One of my friends, she actually writes a to-do list after she's already done some things, and then she can tick some stuff off straight away, which she says makes her feel really happy. But I'm not quite sure about the maybe that's a little bit pointless, but not for her.
Maybe great.
All right.
Maybe great idea.
Yeah, you should try it. See if you get any satisfaction.
Yeah.
All right, great to have you. So we've had a couple of different insights so far from the A's of the class. Let's go to the J. Jose, hello.
Hello, Hami. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Tell us about you and your time, Jose.
Yes, I tried make a list and setting of priorities because I think some things are more important than another one.
Okay.
And I try carrying out activity around these priorities. Uh, the activities that are more important, I think I have to do more early than the another one.
Mm-hmm. To give them more energy or to spend more energy on them, Jose?
Yes, I spend more energy in these activities, and I try to make an schedule in order to make the activities in the proper way.
Okay, so you make an effort to prioritize your different
Yes,
to-do list items. How does it work?
yes,
Does it work well, do you think?
yes. I think this method works well.
All right. And what about your low priority activities? Do you ever actually get around to doing those?
Yes, the no priority activities for me are less important.
Mm.
I try to delay these kind of activities.
Okay. So it doesn't matter if you really get them
Yes,
done or not. All right.
yes.
Awesome. Okay, 3 really different opinions so far. That's great. Welcome, Jose. Ksenia, how about you? How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Have you been doing any cycling? How's the weather?
It's pretty good, but I don't have time for cycling.
Oh, have you been working too hard?
Yes, working and walking with my husband.
Walking with your husband?
Working and walking, yes, with my husband.
Okay. That's nice. So where do you walk? Just around your area, or
Around
do you
the
go anywhere?
city. Yes,
In
in the
city.
center.
That's nice. Is it a nice like? Is your city nice to walk through? Is it kind of interesting or busy or?
No, you should have a look vision because there are no lamps in the night and a very bad pavement. So you should watch your step, every step.
Mm-hmm.
And be careful with stray dogs because they're very aggressive. So it's not very
That
safe.
sounds horrible. It sounds like something with zombie movie, Ksenia. So there's no street lights, the pavement's terrible, and stray dogs are coming at you from all angles.
Yes, but you can burn a lot of calories in this situation.
And if you take your husband with you, then he can protect you from all of the dangers, right?
Yes, of course.
All right. Well, that does sound at least interesting. I'm glad you've been getting some exercise, even if you haven't been on your bike. Tell us about time management. Do you think of this as an issue? Time management?
For me, not, because I'm very reliable person. I think because I plan everything. I planned what I want to eat on the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So I planned everything, and I don't fall asleep when I don't know what I'm going to do on the next day. So it's impossible for me.
Okay, interesting. So you are the type of person who always gets your meat out of the freezer in time for it to defrost overnight.
Yes.
I am so impressed with that, Ksenia. I never remember. All right, so that's great. So you make a little plan maybe for the following day before you go to bed?
In my mind only, yes.
In your mind, okay. So you don't actually write any to-do lists as such?
No, I use a notebook and paper only for my job to make an appointment, but not my daily plans every day.
Okay, and how does your husband feel about that? Does he enjoy your organized nature, or does he find it a bit constricting? What kind of personality is he?
I think he's the same.
He's the
but
same?
Not so how to say strict, because I can I make action in a bad way when something is not going well. But he is more calm. in this case.
So maybe he's got a slightly more laid-back attitude, although he still has the same ideas about organizing time as you.
I think the same idea.
Okay, great. All right. Well, it sounds like that is quite a compatible personalities, maybe. Okay, so Ksenia is highly organized by the sound of things, so maybe we can get some tips off you, Ksenia, later on. We'll see.
Okay.
Natalia with the yellow flowers. Hello.
Hello. Nice to see you again. Well, fine, thank you. What about you? Fine?
Yes, I'm great, thank you. So Natalia, are you a very organized person like Ksenia?
Well, I was when I was listening to Ksenia, I thought that to some extent, I thought that maybe I'm an opposite to Ksenia, but well, not 100 opposites. I mean that certainly I'm a responsible person when it concerns my job, for example, my duties at work and so on, and the main things. But if you consider my housework, for instance, so tidying up the room and so on, so I can always put it off, and it takes so long time when I start it, for instance, and so sometimes there are also moments when I know that I have to prepare some, I don't know, some presentation or something, and I know that I will do it. I know that I will never let anybody down at work, for instance, but sometimes I do it at the very last moment, and sometimes it's quite effective for me. And so now I explain it by the fact that maybe I've got some adrenaline rush or something, and it helps me to work more effectively. I don't know, but actually I'm changing. So earlier I used to be more organized, and now, well, there are things which maybe I don't consider to be so important, and so I do them when I have time.
Okay. All right, so it sounds like you're a bit of a mixture, really, Natalia. Sometimes at work you almost use a bit of adrenaline or a last-minute activity or a deadline to help push you to achieve it, but at home maybe you're a bit more relaxed.
Yeah, so it sounds like that.
Oh, right, very interesting. Well, welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Veronica, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Excellent. So I'm assuming that you've been following what we've been saying and talking all about time management and how we deal with time in our lives. So how do you feel about your life in general, Veronica? Do you have too many activities? Do you have not enough activities? Do you have optimal activities?
Now it's holidays, and these are the longest holidays in my life, probably, because I've got 5 months of holidays.
Wow!
Yeah. After graduation from high school in Poland, everybody has such long vacation. So for now, I have too little activities, and
Too few.
Yeah. And it makes my time management very difficult, because now I postpone everything. Like, I have one little thing to do during the day, and I wake up and I think, oh, I'll sleep a little bit longer because I have time. So then I watch something because I have time, and I end up doing nothing all day. So I found a job to make it more organized, to have something to do, to do other things.
All right. Yeah. Isn't it funny how you're in like the situation that probably some of us are all dreaming about, you know, having a big long holiday. But the reality of it is just as you say. I'm sure we'd all be the same, kind of a bit twiddling our thumbs, not really knowing what to do, spending most of the time sleeping and watching TV, which is really a complete waste of time.
Yeah, believe me, a few months ago I was dreaming about it too.
And now you're completely over it.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you do at the end of this holiday, Veronica? Do you go to university?
Yes, I'll
Um,
study in English.
Wonderful. So there you go. You can fill up your days with your new job and verbling classes.
I think I will have too much English after my studies.
English overload.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that, Veronica. It's great to have you here because you're going to be like our balancing student today. To remind us that holiday is not always great, okay? Welcome. Okay, the last student, I'm not entirely sure what your name is because it appears in maybe another language, possibly Arabic. I can't tell. Hello, anyway. Omar. Great. Hello, Omar.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice.
Welcome to the class. How's everything going? How's your English studying going?
It's going good. I'm taking some class in my day.
Yep.
I want to increase my fluency in English.
Well, you're in the right place, Omar. Excellent choice.
Thank you.
All right, so Omar, tell us a little bit about you and time management. What do you do with your time? Are you good at organizing your time or are you hopeless?
Unfortunately, I'm not organized. We are on vacation in my country, and I'm not organized. Today it's different from yesterday and before yesterday. I have a new activity always. I don't have work. I, I don't know what I can do in the vacation. I just waiting university for beginning
Yep,
for
waiting
start.
for university to start. You're like Veronica.
Sorry?
It seems like you're in the same position as Veronica, who's also waiting for university to start.
Yes. Yes.
All right, excellent. Well, we've got a male and a female balancing act. There we go. That should be very handy. Welcome to the class, Omar. We have an article which I'm going to direct you across to in a moment. But before we do that, I just want to ask, because this is like something that's very easy to do on Verbling, and anyone can respond to this. Do you think that culture or a particular country, like where you're from, influences how you manage your time, or whether or not you're an organized person? Does that play a role? So we've got some Russians, we've got some Latin Americans. Omar, where are you from? Which country?
From Saudi Arabia.
Okay, we've got Saudi Arabian, we've got a Pole. So what do you guys think? Does anyone want to respond? Do you think culture is something that definitely influences your idea of time management, or is it more of a personal matter?
It's in both. I think it's in different in culture and in the country. I don't know. It's. I think the main. It's, I, the main things that will organize your life. It's myself. You can organize. You can be unorganized. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Both things maybe do have an influence. I think certain cultures, maybe this is because I'm trying to look at my own culture, we're sort of stereotypically organized or not. I don't know about you, but I think maybe we see, or in general, people say, Latin Americans are a bit more relaxed, or maybe Hispanic people, they're a bit more laid back and they're often late or do things tomorrow or whatever. They have that mañana kind of thing. Whereas in the UK or maybe Germany, maybe we're a bit more strict. Do you think that's actually true, or is it just, you know, a stereotype?
It's totally true.
Think it's true?
It is true.
I know it's true.
Okay, so what would you say about your culture, Veronica?
We are very organized and we do a lot of things very often at once. And we really need to do something all the time. And I've been to southern Spain, and if it was like I was there on holidays, it would be different for sure. But I was there on like kind of a camp, like a scouts camp, and we in Poland we always have lots of activities on such camps, and we went there and there was like nothing happened, or one activity a day, and everything was just so disorganized. And we were, for example, at the pool, and we were there 3 hours too early, and it was 49 or something like that degrees Celsius, and we were waiting there 3 hours at the sun because we just didn't think about it to check
what time the pool opens.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a very funny story, and it's a nice illustration. Thank you, Veronica. Was it Jose, I think, that was also wanting to say something?
In my culture here in Spain, I think the people is not so organized. Is disorganized. I think the people don't make a setting of priorities.
Yeah.
In my country, no. The people is not so organized. I think the people don't wake up so early. After that, they try to do activities, a lot of activities, but not in the proper way. Uh, don't make the people don't make a list of priorities. When you do a list, you make a list of priorities. This activity is very important, but because you do you you give more importance to the activities that for you are more important.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so Jose, you are confirming the Spanish stereotype.
Yes.
I just want to say hello to Adela and welcome. Adela, we've just been talking about how we manage our time, and the most recent question was, do you think that culture plays a role in how you manage your time? Does your culture affect you and how well or not you do it? So that's what we're just discussing. Anyone else like to make a comment before we read?
I.
Okay, yep, go ahead, Anna.
Okay, the Brazilian stereotype is not very good either, because we have a bad thing that we are always late, you know, and it's true.
It's true.
Yes, it's customary to arrive late in a meeting, at least 10 minutes, you know, and in fact, if you show up early, then earlier than everyone else, people would think it is weird or strange. In a party, it would be considered impolite, you know. If you show up before than everyone else, people would say, oh my gosh, we are not ready yet. What are you doing here? Something like that.
Well, if I ever go to Brazil, I will have to remember that, Anna, because I think British people tend to be really, really, really on time.
No, don't be punctual in parties in Brazil.
Right. Okay, I'll write that on my list of things to remember. Okay, that's interesting. So let's go over to our article. If you want to click on the link, it's there for you in the chat box. And if not, you can just share what we've got on my screen. So let's see if we can just zoom in a bit. Okay, so this is maybe presenting a slightly different point of view. We often do talk about time management. It's kind of one of those general, how to manage your time effectively. Apparently, you can't be a great human unless you are able to do that. But this article maybe presents it from a slightly different point of view. So, since Adela's just joined us, Adela, could you start us off and read the title and this little introductory sentence, please?
Okay. Why is that? Why is it time to change how you divide your time? It's not about balance. It's about doing what matters most.
Great, thank you. This is divide.
Divide.
Yes. Okay, so any questions firstly about the title? Or what Adela's just read?
No.
Brilliant. Okay, we're going to carry on. Adela, could you continue for us, please, in a podcast interview?
In a podcast interview with host Jody Arbegan, on What's the Point, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson explained that trying to maintain our life balance is overrated. I continue? Sorry?
Yes, please. Yeah.
At first glance, it would appear that the astrophysics is suggesting we should embrace a workaholic lifestyle because effort to balance work with other interests and goals is foolhardy.
Great, thank you, Adela. This one here is overrated.
Overrated.
Correct. Okay, questions.
Foolhardy? What is
Foolhardy. Could anyone explain what foolhardy means?
Without thinking.
Yeah, basically it means foolish, a foolish thing to do, a silly thing to do, without thinking, not very smart, that kind of thing. Any other questions? No? All right, in that case, Anna, please continue upon closer inspection.
Okay. Upon closer inspection, however, what he stated is that doing lots of things, pursuing your goals and interests while developing or maintaining close relationships is, well, hard. Therefore, the out of balance feeling is to be expected from time to time and will compel you to create innovative solutions. He goes on to suggest that constant balance is not only unattainable, but in many ways unappealing.
Thank you, Anna. Perfect reading. Any questions?
Unattainable?
Unattainable. What does unattainable mean?
Unreachable.
Yep. Thank you. Means unreachable, Anna. Not able to be reached. You can't actually achieve this thing. Any other questions? Oh, brilliant. Okay. Andre, could you read the next paragraph and line, please?
Okay. I agree with Tyson that a sense of balance is not desirable, but for different reasons. When anything is in balance, it quite literally means that weight is distributed evenly, or that all elements are in their correct proportions. When it comes to how we allocate our time to the different aspects of our lives, I am not convinced that it is balance we ought to be pursuing. Instead, I think we could benefit from seeking what is optimal.
Great, thank you. Perfect reading as well. Okay, any questions about Andre's paragraph? No? All right. Natalia, could you just give us a little summary in your own words of what we've read so far? What are we talking about here? Are you there, Natalia? No.
Oh, sorry. So, it was unmuted. Yeah. So, well, actually, here there is the point of view of Jodie Avigron, who considers that balancing our work and our interests, our personal life could be difficult, hard, unattainable, and even unappealing. But the author of the article says that he partly agrees with it, but partly disagrees, because he thinks that well, okay, so he says that in our life we shouldn't look for balance. So he says that we should benefit from seeking from what is optimal.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's perfect, Natalia. Great summary. So we're just going to find out a tiny bit more about what he means by this. And we're going to see if Jose could read it. What's the difference?
Okay, what's the difference? Unlike balance, optimal is that which is most favorable. In terms of how we spend our time, this translates into maximizing our actions given certain constraints. The biggest limitation, whether you are a human or animal, there are only so many hours in the day to accomplish everything you need to do. Let's call this one time or activity budget. One of the most fundamental aspects of animal behavior is examining how animals distribute their behavior and activities over time. Time devoted to one thing necessarily takes away from the time available for something else. Thus, understanding how an individual allocates time can give us insight into what is important to that individual.
Excellent. That's a rather fitting paragraph for you, Jose, about priorities. This one here is favorable. Favorable.
Favorable.
Yep. And then this one you got right, but I'll just repeat it so you got it set in your brain. It's examining.
Examining.
Yep. And the last one is thus.
Thus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well done. Great reading. Anybody have any questions? No? Okay. So we're going to find out what some animals do, how they spend their days, what percentage of time do they spend doing certain things. So, Ksenia, could you read about the thin-spined porcupine?
For example, there is how the time budget of the thin-spined porcupine plays out. On any given day, the porcupine spends 74% of its active time resting, 14% feeding, 11% doing from one place to another, and 2% in miscellaneous activities. For orangutans it can be more variable, but still they spend from 20 to 50% of their time during the day resting, from 30 to 50% feeding, and from 10 to 20% traveling. Any remaining time is spent in assorted activities.
Great, thank you, Ksenia. This one here doesn't have a C sound, a hard C. It just is miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous.
Yeah. What does miscellaneous mean? Does anyone know?
Other.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you have a certain number of categories and then there's still some things left over that don't actually fit into any of the categories, then you can call them miscellaneous. They're things that don't really go with anything else, sort of random leftovers. Any other questions?
Assorted activities.
What is assorted activities?
Not
Anyone
important?
know?
Just guess. Yes.
No? Good guess, but no.
So different activities, various activities.
Yeah. Exactly right, Natalia. This word is used for when you've got like a variety of something. And for example, you could buy a packet of assorted sweets, and it means that there's different types of sweets inside the packet. So it's like a variety or different types of things.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? No? All right, let's read this next paragraph. This is for Natalia, the first thing that jumps out.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, so the first thing that jumps out is how both thin-spined porcupines and orangutans spend a good portion of their waking hours resting. But then again, unlike us, these two aren't the most social creatures.
Great. And Veronica, we are first and foremost.
We are first and foremost social animals. Our relationships with each other anchor us. They provide the foundation for us to go out into the world and succeed. And yet, nurturing our relationship is one of the first things to fall by the wayside as we collectively complain, I'm too busy, I'm too tired. Are we really? Or do we simply not know how to spend our time optimally? Before we look at how the average American allocates his or her time, let's glance at two other widely different social species.
Thank you, Veronica. This one here is anchor. Anchor.
Anchor.
Great.
Okay.
Can anyone explain what it means here when it uses the word anchor? To anchor us.
Bind us.
Yes, that's a nice way of putting it, Cassini. Yeah. So the anchor is that thing on a ship which is really, really heavy, and it stops your ship from moving around if you put it down into the water. Any other questions? No? Okay, I want to ask a question just before we carry on. It says here, that one of the things that is first to fall by the wayside or to get left behind or to get neglected maybe is relationships. So if you have a lot on your plate, if you've got a really busy day, then maybe your relationships are the things that suffer. Do you agree with this? What do you think? Is that true in your experience?
It depends on what you do and
Okay.
what's on your plate. So,
Can you give us an example, Andre?
for example, if someone cares about his family or friends, helps others, so I don't think that his relation or her relationship suffers. So it depends.
All right, maybe it also depends then on the person who you're having this relationship with. If they're very close to you, that maybe it doesn't suffer, but maybe a work colleague or something, that kind of relationship could suffer a bit.
Yeah. It depends
All right.
on the person, yeah.
Thank you, Andre. Any other comments? No? All right, let's continue reading. So we've all had a turn. Would anyone like to read this paragraph for us? If you are a Degu.
Okay, may I?
Yes.
If you are a Degu, a small social rodent from South America, you live among the others in colony, sort of like a neighborhood, and you belong to a social group or family. You have the added concern of becoming food for a switch of predators. Consequently, your day looks like this: feeding 46%, watching out for danger 32%, resting 8%, traveling 7%, self-grooming 4%, burrow digging or home maintenance 0.2%, and social interactions 3%. Despite being social and living in groups, social activity is not the top priority because so much of their day is spent looking for food and keeping eye out for danger.
Thank you, Anna. It should be keeping an eye, not and eye. Keeping an eye out for danger. Yeah, well done. That was really lovely reading. I was going to ask you if you know what this animal is, Anna.
No, teacher, I was about to ask you.
Well, when I first read this, I hadn't actually come across one of these before. They look pretty cute, I must say. But because they were from, very roughly South America, I thought maybe, you never know, you're Brazil, you might know. But no, perhaps they are an animal that doesn't, interact with humans ever. Maybe they live somewhere isolated. Okay, so we'll read about baboons. Who would like to read this one?
I can.
Okay.
Okay, Natalie, go on.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so thank you. So not so for baboons. Even though they spend about 12% of their time watching for predators, social interactions make up a whopping 15% of their daily time budget, 5 times as much as the Degu. Why? Because social relationships are incredibly important to an individual baboon's success. Apart from humans, baboons are one of the most successful primates on the planet. Yet the one thing they don't cast aside is the importance of maintaining strong relationships with each other. What we do know is that time spent in other activities takes a hit to compensate for all this togetherness.
Thank you, Natalia. Beautiful reading. Anyone have any questions?
Cast.
Sorry, Anna?
I
Cast
forgot
aside. This here?
Yes.
Okay. It goes together with this other word, aside. To cast something aside. Can anyone explain that?
So I suppose things they don't ignore, for example, they put aside.
Exactly. Yep. It's like to put at the side, to ignore it, to put it away from like your main path. But because it's negative, it's the thing that they don't do this with, i.e. they do focus on it. Okay. Let's continue. So, Ksenia, would you like to read from comparative purposes?
Okay. For comparative purposes, let's broadly categorize everything but social interactions and daytime rest as work. How do we stack up? Subtracting 7 hours for sleeping according to the American Time Use database, the average American spends the average American spends the remaining 17 hours divided up roughly as follows: 24% resting and 8% socializing, communicating with the balance and engaging in some version of work.
Could you read
Given the state of some of our relationships, it's possible most of us are not optimally managing our time.
Thank you. Just stop there. We'll just check that if there's any questions. No. So we've got the kind of analysis of the average American. So obviously none of us are American, but I'm sure that our percentages are not too far off this. Is anybody surprised by this, or do you feel it sounds quite accurate, or what do you think?
No, I'm not surprised. I think this kind of thinking has similarities with project management. It is the same.
Okay, in what way,
Because
Jose?
you have to make an scope, and after that you have to break up the problem in small steps. You have to establish priorities.
Yep, absolutely. Are you a manager, Jose?
No, but I I take I took some classes of project management with Adela and Anna too.
Awesome. Okay, so that's fascinating. And there's definitely one thing I'm going to remember from this class, and that is priorities, Jose. You have definitely got that into my head, so well done. Okay, let's continue a little bit longer. Anyone else like to read?
I can.
Thank you, Andre. One way.
Okay. One way to get a handle of that "where does all my time go?" question is to conduct a little behavior study on yourself. Just as a food journal can help you lose weight and a money journal can help you manage your finances, tracking your time is an effective way to explore how you really spend your waking hours. This can give you insight into whether the way you spend your time matches your priorities.
There you go, Jose. This is a good way of identifying if your priorities are being met. Carry on, please, Andre, just for one more paragraph.
Okay. If your partner or spouse constantly complains that you never spend enough time together, while you assert that you simply do not have the time, this exercise may be particularly revealing. It may expose places where you can be more efficient with certain activities, thereby freeing up additional time to devote toward developing, deepening, and maintaining your relationship. It has been estimated that the average American spends almost 20% of the day watching television.
Excellent. Thank you, Andre. Any questions from those two paragraphs, guys? No? Okay. Last paragraph then. Anyone like to finish this off for us?
Can I?
I can. Okay, go.
All right. Adela, I think that was. Thank you, Veronica. So Adela, could you read?
The interesting thing about baboons is that they don't strive to balance their social time equally with everyone. Like us, they nurture those relationships that matter most to them. Thus, if you find yourself with someone unwilling to dedicate time to you, or always putting other activities or people ahead of you, you may want to eliminate them from your activity budget and focus your time on more reciprocal relationship. After all, that will be optimal.
Thank you, Adela. Any questions on the last paragraph? No? All right. So I think that Jose, what you've been saying from the beginning of this class has really matched what we've read in the article about priorities today. And I like the way that it tells us how much time we waste watching TV. Interesting point. Just have a think about how much TV you watch. Do you watch any TV at all? And do you think watching TV is a waste of time? Maybe they didn't say waste in the article. I think they just said spend, which is much more neutral. But is TV a good use of your time? Do you find it helps you rest, or do you learn things from TV? Let's just have a quick discussion about TV before we finish. So, does anyone here love TV?
I cannot fall asleep without TV.
Okay, so it helps you relax, possibly, Anna?
Yes.
Anyone else?
I don't watch it, actually.
Okay, Andre doesn't
neither.
watch it. No, neither does Adela.
In my case, I don't have time to watch the TV.
That's because you've got
I
such good
changed for
priorities.
verblim.
Yeah.
Yay! Thank you, Adela.
I spent a lot of time on Berlin.
Now this is cheering me up, guys. What a great end to the class. So if you're watching a lot of TV, the thing to do, really, according to this class, is come and join us on Verbally. I hope you enjoyed reading about all these crazy animals and how they spend their time. I think it's been an interesting discussion today about how we all deal with this issue, that it's something that is the same for everybody, but we all deal with it in different ways. So I hope you've maybe learned something. I certainly have. I'm going to think carefully about what I prioritize in my next week. If you have decided to prioritize English learning and you want to practice your writing, then maybe you want to join me at the next class, which is a bit of fun practicing the conditional tenses. But if not, if you want to prioritize relaxing or maybe watching some TV, then I hope to see you all again soon. Enjoy your evening or your day and have a great weekend.
Okay, the same to
Thank
you.
you.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Hello everybody, welcome to this verbling class. My name is Teacher Amy and today's class is a bit of a fun class on time management. I found this really fun article on psychologytoday.com about how animals spend their time. So if you want to find out a little bit about the time management from an animal's perspective, or how to balance or maybe not, and we're going to be talking a few here on Verbally Proved. Please let me know if you're still having problems hearing me. I did try and restart everything this morning, so that's kind of annoying, but I've restarted my browser once again, and hopefully that will help. Anna, welcome. It's lovely to see you.
It's lovely to see you, teacher. I'm very happy.
How have you been? Is your back better yet?
Yes, I'm very well now. However, the doctor gave me a day off um to July, August 18th, so I can stay home to there because they already gave me the permission.
All right, so you get some time off work. Woohoo! You can come onto Verbling lots more often, Anna, and practice your English. All right, so our topic today is time management, and we're just going to look at this from a bit of a general point of view for as you go through your week. So, management. Are you there? You're having problems hearing me. I wonder about the others. Let's see if Andre.
Teacher,
Yes.
hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but you're having problems hearing me. That's a
From
bit
time
annoying.
to time, you are frozen and
Oh.
your images are kind of blur.
Okay, that's a bit annoying. Maybe I will just see if I can leave the class. I'm going to share a couple of pages with you, and if you have never visited them before, or perhaps even if you have, but it was along those the also book a lot with them. So if you do want to attend any of their classes or a tutoring session, then that's where you can go. And if you're interested, the second link might be helpful, and you can find the others too. So if you are a Facebook person, it might be class and come back in. Just give me a couple of moments because I don't want to struggle through with that issue if it's annoying you. So I'll be right back, guys. Just see you in a couple of minutes.
Was it the same for you guys? Or just for
Yes,
me?
yes,
Yes.
for me too. I didn't
Okay.
hear the teacher well.
All right.
Okay, we're hoping this is improved.